We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement. Warning, some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. Hazardous substance. Viewer discretion is advised. Let the games begin.
This is Jesper the Clown,
a.k.a. Joe Benner.
and you're listening to Slashers Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I would like to apologize for once in the past 5 or so years that we have been active. We put out an episode a day late. A day late and $1 short.
It seems to be the recurring theme this weekend for some people.
Mm.
Mhm.
In our defense, we were having a good time. We probably could have gotten some more stuff from Scaridise, but you know what? It is a rarity that all of us are together, and we did have Doug with us for this event. Enjoyed ourselves and had fun, and we really didn't,
Speak for yourself. You made me make videos.
not this time. I'm talking about the last time. So
Well, it wasn't. It was Midsummer Scream. That was the last time, wasn't it?
When we're all
I guess
together.
that. Yeah. Technically, that would be yeah. True. That's true.
Because I don't think I've been to Florida when Doug's there. I think this is the first time that Doug and I have been together in Florida with you guys, right?
Oh yeah. You know what? I don't know. Did you not? Yeah. No, you were there with us. Yeah, because we had the pool. Remember, all of us were together at the pool.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because we definitely have pictures of that, like at the hotel that's not there anymore now, because
Yeah.
that was the one they did for technically the midsummer time frame of that one too. So
Well, we got
Was
all
that-
of our tattoos together that time, remember?
Oh yeah. Was that before or after Midsummer?
before.
I don't know. I'm getting old. Lance, how do you do it? Give me your ginkgo biloba or whatever it is that you use.
Yeah, no, because it was, we did the Spooky Empire first, but it was like the midsummer one, kind of like in that same time frame as midsummer would have been. So we didn't do that. And the year after that, we went out to LA to do midsummer, which is where it was cool because Billy Bob was there, but he was just hanging out, which was
Joe
really cool.
Bob. Joe Bob.
Billy Bob.
I
Oh.
was like, which
Joe Bob. I just think Billy Bob is like, it just sounds funnier. But
That's a
No,
different
yeah,
person, but okay.
Billy Bob is another actor who is now doing
Mm.
commercials for.
yeah, for T-Mobile. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And is in something Land something or other TV show wise.
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't really recall.
No, we're not talking about him.
Well,
Anyway,
How was everybody's time? Did everybody have a good time though for this time?
No, but today we're bringing to you March Madness. I'm just kidding.
Motherfuckers.
okay.
No?
Well, we bring this up because if you all noticed that I was not really present in the videos at this convention because Lance insisted Mikey do them this time. I've been ousted out of my
ousted.
own thing.
Oh my
Like I
god.
told you, it was a one and done thing. After my shenanigans that I pulled, he's not gonna have.
Oh my god. See, that's what I think it is. I think Mikey tried to do that on purpose. Like drunk Mikey's like, we'll fuck this up real good. There's no way he's gonna ask me to do this again.
No, drunk Mikey was like, "You are killing this." Also, there's Jenna. Let's talk shit about her.
I know. Poor Jenna. Jenna,
She-
we apologize for Mikey's
I don't.
behavior.
I don't.
Shots fired.
Oh, and then I tried to do the promotional one for Scaridise, forgetting what it was called, and she had to tell me what it was called.
Dude, she was laughing
All
so
these
hard.
videos are on our Instagram, everybody, if you want to see.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
funny.
Well, we had a great time though, everyone. So, if you ever get a chance to come out or go out to a horror convention, I highly recommend, just make sure you have cash because sometimes ATMs are not readily available for you.
Oh, that was crazy.
They always break every time we go to a convention together.
Yeah.
The ATM always breaks because they use it all the time.
Yeah.
Non-stop use.
I think the only time this was the smartest thing that me and A did pretty much most of the time was we split up because there was 2 different ATMs at the time. And I go, all right, I'm gonna get in this lane and you get in that one. If something bad happens, we could just go to the other person in line, and get in there and still get our money. And
Yeah.
it did happen. It happened about 4 people away from me being up there. I felt bad for that guy that was in front of me though, because he totally got fucked up.
Well, and that's the thing too, that these conventions, they're getting bigger. So the people who are running them and like discussing with the venues and whatever, you need to be more responsible about that because people are just going to need cash. Even if you bring cash, you always end up needing more cash. And the only place I would say that was the best for conventions was when I was at the when I was in Daytona at the Daytona Convention Center for the 90s convention
Mm-hmm.
because Daytona and the Tampa Convention Center, not the Tampa Fairgrounds, but the Tampa Convention Center, millions of ATMs. They have so many ATMs and they have them all over. So you never had to wait in line or have to wait in long lines. So, I think that's, the responsibility of the people who run these conventions. Like you need to make sure you're choosing your venues wisely, or at least having that stipulation because, not only do the actors lose out on money, but people lose out on the chances to meet those people. So it's a lose-lose for everybody. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Yep.
all the advice that I have because it sounds like a nightmare having to put all of those things together. So thank you for whoever runs Scaridise. We appreciate you. But
Sure.
and for those of you who don't know, Scaridise used to be Spookala and they had to change the name. And here we are. But anyways, Scaridise this year featured a lot of actors from several different Scream films. And if anybody could guess what film we are doing today, we are actually going to get into Scream 7. So all four of us got to see it at the Premiere Cinemas in Orlando, which actually we found out is going to close in a couple of weeks. So thank God we got to see it ahead of time.
Another movie theater that's near you that's closed down.
I know.
Something going on?
I'm killing all the theaters around me. I'm sorry.
I mean,
So
the writing was literally on the wall when we got there.
Jesus, yeah, literally.
The theater was on its last. Someone pulled the plug on her.
Yeah.
Out of her misery.
That sucks.
It's so sad. So, again, theater's a dying art and it shouldn't be. I think that we should be more excited to go to movies, but if they keep closing, what can we do? Anyway, so we are doing Scream 7. So for those of you who still have not seen Scream 7, well, we can get into
Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be 2 weeks from now. So a good amount of people, I'd imagine.
I hope you've seen it. If you've not, we will be revealing spoilers. We will be revealing who the killers are. We will be revealing all of the fun stuff in between. So if you have not seen it and you want to be surprised, stop going on social media.
Yeah.
And I know, because I got it spoiled from, scrolling on Facebook. And it's always fucking Facebook too. God damn it, boomers.
Mine was on Instagram.
Oh, yours was on Instagram. Mine was literally Facebook, and I was scrolling, and they were like, "Can you believe that they had the nerve to make her the killer?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And
Well,
I'm like,
also
mine
too,
was mine was under, apparently it was just an advertisement for Scream, and there was, I guess, Kevin Williamson released something because people were just, they're just to get it out of the way. This movie is under a lot of heat. It's under a lot of controversy because of boycotts, because of Melissa Barrera, who was, she didn't cause it, but because of the circumstances of her not returning, there's a lot going on. So people really, a lot of people do not want this movie to either be released, be successful, and all that stuff. So a lot of people wanted to ruin it. And so there was a post that was like Kevin Williamson. I don't know if he wrote something or he made a video. I didn't watch it, but it was like he was asking people to please not spoil the movie because it ruins the experience, whatever. And the very first comment under that was, blank blank is the killer.
I mean, because people, and not for nothing, people are just fucking
shit.
assholes. And, it's a shame because Scream is known for, like, one of the best parts about Scream is, like, who's the killer, which is why I thought the last one sucked so bad because I immediately knew who the killer was because they didn't show her die. And then obviously the relations to her, I'm not shocking, not shocked by it at all. I really didn't like where the franchise was going with Melissa Barrera's character. So whatever the circumstances is that she's not a part of it, even though they didn't renew her contract after, or I'm sorry, She only had a contract for 2 films, but I'm glad because I couldn't stand that storyline anyway. So I'm glad it's over. I didn't think it was gonna go anywhere. And the only sad thing about it is that no, we don't have that whole ghost of Skeet Ulrich or AKA Billy Loomis. Like that sucks, but
Well,
he's
everything's still, I mean, is canon for those two movies. So regardless of that, technically she could come back.
I was thinking, even though I agree that I do not like Melissa Barrera's character in 5 and 6, I think it's kind of strange. I don't think her character is very strong, or I don't know. It's a weird dynamic. But after watching this one, I was like, they could bring her back, kind of like they took a break, they took a side step for what's happening with Sydney, and you know, I don't know exactly who was in charge of not renewing her contract or who didn't want her to come back. But if it's Spyglass, I believe it might be Spyglass in general, but Scream has changed hands many times. If it changes hands again, that could be a way to be like, hey, we've changed whatever, we apologize for the fucked up reason that you weren't back. Because even though I didn't like her in the movie, it was kind of fucked up the reason why they let her go.
Yeah.
Make amends and be like, come back and get everybody back together and kind of combine the timelines again. Because now that we also have Sydney's daughter, it might be an interesting dynamic to be like Sydney's daughter versus Luke Billy's daughter. Because I feel like they are kind of trying to make her eventually turn evil.
Yeah. I mean, number 8 would be that kind of that situation where you would think if they brought her back, how cool would it be to make her come back as one of the Ghostface killers to, Sydney's daughter type,
Yeah.
or even maybe the sisters in general. Maybe her and Ortega comes back and, you know what I mean? And they're the two killers,
Who knows?
yeah.
But it's so to kind of backtrack because we're talking about a movie that doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
With Scream 7, this is the first one that doesn't include the Barrera sisters, the Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega, who plays her sister. And so we'll first start with the opening kill.
Mm.
It's in the trailer. Like, there's no surprise. There's no like, ooh, because even though I didn't like the opening kill, was it 6 with the blonde girl from Ready or Not?
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Yeah. So even though I didn't care for that opening, not because of her, she's great, but because it was just kind of weak, it had that little twist of like, oh, it was a Ghostface killer, but the Ghostface killer gets killed also. There's no twist to this one. And if you've listened to the podcast and you've heard us discuss the Scream movies previously, I have a fan theory that I would just eventually Ghostface just needs to be an entity. It needs to stop being a person and be an entity. And I saw the perfect opportunity for that to happen with the stupid animatronic in the Ghostface house. And I was like, oh, perfect. It's him. It's the machine. Like, let's just keep it like that.
Oh, like
Did
they're
you want
gonna
it to be
pull
like
a
Billy
Christmas, Bloody
Loomis's?
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like some tulpa that brings Ghostface to life and
Yeah.
starts.
That would be
But-
cool if it was Billy, though.
And this is my thing. Like they have an opportunity to bring Billy and Stu back. If it's truly going to be the last film, if for some, obviously Billy's a little bit more difficult because he was shot in the head. Stu was a lot easier to, kind of, assume that he might have survived, right?
Yeah.
So, that's the shitty part of it.
You pretty much kind of nailed it. You and Mikey. It's basically, let's just say Stu's been in a hospital. He really didn't die. He's somewhere, right? And the demon of Billy Loomis takes over his body, and then you get both of them. And then there's that moment where they're fighting or whatever, and Stu comes back to save the day, kind of, because they have a moment of disagreement. One of those like evil demon, to the actual body, the person who owns the body kind of deal. One of those.
So
Yeah.
you want basically which Jason is that where he's jumping bodies?
Yeah.
Oh, Jason Goes to Hell. Is it Jason Goes to Hell?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah.
There's jumping the shark and then there's pulling a lance. So
True.
there is not a shark big enough for the story you just mentioned.
I mean,
But-
it would be fun.
I was hoping, so as we all know, there was rumblings that Matthew Lillard was going to be back. I knew he wasn't going to be back shortly after the film was rolling because they were like, well, there's theories that he's still alive. Oh, and I was like, well, that's not going to be the case because Kevin Williamson isn't going to put that in the movie if it's not going to be true, or if it's not
Right.
going to, it's going to be true in later. Like he's basically poo-pooing that idea, and we have basically which is kind of a plot hole. We have what's his name? Not Billy. Stu. We have Stu making phone calls to Sidney, video calls. For some reason, he has scratches all over his face. I mean, I'm guessing it's trying to insinuate the TV crash, but I'm like, AI isn't gonna know. I mean, unless you like create Stu Macher as he would be today. But it's like if you just like make Stu Macher call Sidney, he's gonna look like he looked when he was alive.
Yeah.
Unless you, I don't know. It's very weird. It was very, I don't know. Wish if Stu was alive, we'd get some more of. Is Kevin Williamson can write emotional scenes, regardless of like the scares, the thrills, all that stuff. He can write emotional scenes. So there's scenes that I'm glad that we got, which is one of the reasons why I feel like this is a direct sequel to Scream 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because this we're actually focusing on Sydney's life after Scream. All the other ones, it's always like, well, you know, she keeps getting attacked later on in life. She's still a kid though, or young. And then when she's an adult, it's always someone else's story. Sydney comes in to save the day. But this is, you know, the Laurie Strode Halloween 2018 Sidney Prescott. And I loved her. She wasn't crazy. She wasn't psycho. She wasn't doomsday prepper like Laurie Strode. She's just a mother who's cautious with her daughter. And I liked that. And, you know, I just wish it was like, why can't we have more scenes where, you know, they're talking about she names her daughter Tatum, which they're shit talking in the movie like, yeah, you named after your friend that died. Like, great. A girl that got killed in the garage. And so, you know, they're kind of like shit talking it. But at the end, she's like, and it was a really emotional scene. She was like, let me tell you why I named, which was also kind of emotional because I was like, this is also kind of paying homage to Rose McGowan and what she's done for like women in Hollywood.
Right.
And so like I
Exactly.
really liked that. And I was like, yes, more of that. And then when her and Gail are talking about, you know, well, what if I was questioning you about Dewey? Like, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
little gems that I'm like, give me more of that. And so if Stu was alive, we could see the emotional situation that would happen if she has to go to him for help, like we discussed before, like a Silence of the Lambs type thing. Um, but you know, instead we got Dawson's Creek Halloween special.
Hey, that's a good episode. You
I mean,
should.
but at the same time, I thought this was I enjoyed the movie.
Did you
At the
think it was crazy that like I know she wanted her to like live a normal life, and I feel like you can still learn a normal life and yet have your teenage daughter maybe I don't know be gun prepared. Because like I mean, her dad was the chief of police. You know what I mean? Like it didn't seem too weird if she would have at least have some knowledge about guns, or especially in a family that does have guns in the household, or even self defense in the sense of just everyday woman stuff. You know what I mean? You would have to know some
Yeah,
self defense.
yes,
I would
Lance.
hope.
Let's teach the teenagers how to use guns so they can bring them to
Not
school.
like that, but I'm just saying,
Yes,
isn't
Lance, let's arm the teachers. Is that what you want?
no, what I'm talking about the sense is like women in general have to deal with probably a whole bunch of shit from dumb fucking men out there in the world and other predators and everything like that. I just thought it was weird that she had no clue. Like it was like absolutely
Because,
nothing.
well, you're not paying attention. Sydney wants to move on with her life. Like she'd said, I mean, because they keep mentioning why she wasn't in New York, right? And the reason being is that, and this is why I think this is all realistic. And again, this is Kevin Williamson writing the film. This is why we need him to stay with the films because you can see where they start teetering off to bullshit when we don't have him. And had he stayed writing for the films, I think there would have been like the continuity would have been a lot better moving on, right? But unfortunately, we didn't have him. But now we do. So Sydney is basically living in this tiny little podunk ass town, whatever. And she's got her husband who's chief of police. She owns a coffee shop. What was the name? It was something latte.
A little latte or
A
something?
little
No,
latte. Oh, I loved
something
that.
like that.
And I know. And so, like, you know, she's assuming a different life and she refuses to talk about her past with her daughter because she wants to be rid of it, you know? And it's like a juxtaposition with between like how her character is and what she does because even though she wants to be she wants to move on from everything that's happened. She still named her daughter after her best friend who was killed when they, in the first movie. And so I think it's just like you see the emotional turmoil that Sydney has that you don't really get obviously in part 4, and you don't get it in part 5. She wasn't in 6. And just like Mikey said, having her come in and save the day, that yeah, Sydney is a badass, but we need to see how she manages her day to day. And you sort of see that. You don't really see that with Scream 2, because in Scream 2 she's still la la la.
And she's a college kid.
Yeah, and I would be the same way. I'm like, oh, this happened to me, but at least I'm going to college and I have Jerry
What are
O'Connell
the
dancing on a
chances?
table for me. And then we go to, and it's, there's also comfort with her having Randy at college with her, right? Because she still has ties to her past. But then you have Scream 3 where she's a total shut in and she's working on this, the suicide hotline at her house.
Yeah.
In Scream 3 or whatever that she's working. And then 4, she's what's her name's aunt. 5, I can barely remember what the hell she did in 5 because I really feel like she was glossed over.
5, I
And
think
that,
she kind of came in as a savior type deal to the other story.
Yeah.
and she comes in later and she's not really a part of the film, right? And
She
so
pulled a Gale.
she pulled a Gale. So what Gale did in this movie, and my thing is that like Mikey, I agree with you. There were so many great conversations. Like for someone to say that this movie was shit, and a lot of people are shitting on this movie, but I will say that this film and something I was reading today, Bloody Disgusting. Thank you, BD. Um, that Scream 7 actually made more on the opening night, I guess, than Scream 4 made, period. So kudos to that. And I don't know if it's because we have Sydney coming back. That's the draw. I don't know if it's because it's Sydney, Matthew Lillard. And then we have like Kevin Williamson returning to not only write the film, but direct it. And so, there's a lot of nostalgia that's present with this one if you've been with Scream from the beginning. And so, yes, it's probably easy for all of the Gen Z and all these young kids to boycott this film because they didn't grow up, like they didn't watch Scream when it came out. They watched it much later in life. And so they don't really get, like, I don't feel like you understand the impact that something has unless you've lived in it, right? Because Scream was very impactful for all of us. We all remember where we were when we watched it. Mikey and I were kids. Lance, I know you're graduating college. I don't know. So it was like
It was after his doctorate's degree.
Yeah, there it is. Mm.
But yeah, so like I feel like this, like having those moments with those characters is so crucial to this franchise because we are killing off some of the main ones. Dewey's gone. And also like they could have killed off Gale the last movie. I'm shocked that they didn't. And I just can't, and I kind of feel like I'm getting sick of this trope where we're almost killing characters, but we're just keeping them around. Like, don't be afraid to kill people at this point.
I mean, it feels like the twins have taken the spot of Dewey, the people who get stabbed the most and
Yeah.
somehow survive. I mean, even in this one, I mean, obviously, I thought they were going to kill off the dad, which I thought would have been pretty fucking like a really good scene because you could have had a lot of emotional things, and the Sydney and the daughter Tatum would have a real good arc in the next movie. If they were going to do something like that. I think them making them survive, it kind of sucks a little bit. That was one of the things I thought was missed a little bit. It could have been a really good moment, but like like the twins getting stabbed a million times. You know what I mean? And then they still survive. The fact that they were even at the end of this, trying to film, and like Gail's trying to do this weird, like, pass the torch to them, or the one girl, I forget her name. But like some of the stuff in there, like there's some stuff in here, like it's like I said it on our little right after the movie thing where I feel like some of this just was the bridge, like Doug was kind of saying as well. It's like this was a little bridge to get to 8. It did well because of the triumphant return of Sidney, Neve Campbell, Matthew Lillard, because no one knew exactly what it was going to be like. And then there's some people out there who were just doing it despite all the other shit that was going on, you know what I mean, just to prove a point, which kind of sucks because I'd rather have you be genuine with how you like the movie, you know, instead of just doing it to be a dick or not. You know what I mean? Like we saw the movie, but we, like you said, we grew up with it. You know, it's entertaining to us in the sense like, how does this end? What are they going to do with these characters? You know, but so
Yeah, I mean, really, no one of importance died.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
we brought in some new kids, and they don't even last long in the movie. Like, I was kind of excited to see, like, what they were going to do with McKenna Grace. And as soon as I knew that she was on the ropes for the play, I knew she was going to have that death related to the commercial showing her. Even
right.
though it's like in the commercial, it's like a shadow, but I mean, hello, it makes sense if she's the one up there. I was a little let down because I thought that was gonna be like the Sarah Michelle Gellar type kill, because the Sarah Michelle Gellar in Scream 2 was like pretty epic,
Yeah,
and they've all had like an epic. Like there's in Scream 4, the friend Olivia that was next door when the girls were on the phone with her and she's dying next door. That was epic. Like there's always
yeah.
that one that you're like, oh, and I was let it was let down. She was stuck on the fucking ropes the whole time.
Yeah.
Swinging. I thought
I
there
mean,
was gonna be like a little bit of a chase or something, but there was not really a chase in any of these deaths.
did you not see the kind of the similarities to, I guess, in some ways, kind of the Drew Barrymore from the first one, just because of
Well,
the way
yeah,
the light was and how she was
like
hanging
the
with a rope.
intestine coming out. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
I think that was obvious. There was a lot of subtle nods. I was gonna be really pissed off in the beginning after the opening deaths when Tatum is in her room and the boyfriend comes in. They
yeah,
were line for line
yeah.
Yeah.
redo, and I was like, "What
Even
the
the
fuck?"
song.
Yeah, I was like, "Is this?" I was expecting, and someone told me this. Someone that I was talking to about Scream in a non-spoiler way said that he heard it from his friends who saw it that it felt more like a stab movie. And I was like, in the beginning, I thought someone was gonna yell cut, and they were gonna be like, "Oh, okay," and it was gonna be a stab movie that they were making,
Mm,
um, because it was like line for line from the first one. But
Well, it's misdirection, right? And that's what the Scream movies are so famous for, the misdirection. Like it's misleading you on purpose. You're not supposed to be able to guess the killer. And I feel like if you're already guessed the killer, you've done a shit job at your writing, which is why Kevin Williamson should be doing these movies. I wouldn't have known who the killers were. Um, except for Ethan Embry. There was something he said that made me realize, oh, it's probably him
what,
because
at the com, you
he
mean?
no, not at the
in the movie,
in the
No,
movie
because
land.
we saw the con beforehand.
Oh
We
my
saw the
God. Ethan
panel
Embry was, I don't know what, every time we started talking, my eyes glazed over.
again.
Love you to death, my dear, but he was on some existential moment on that stage, and I
Well,
was not there for it.
I only say that because he made the comment on the panel where he was talking about how he wished they would have just made a stab movie instead. You know what I mean? And he
Oh,
made that's why I'm saying, because some of the things he said. Now watching the movie, you kind of go, "Oh,
well,
I get it."
he had auditioned for Scream in the past, and if you think about it, like all of these kids, and at the time they were all kids, they all are tied together in like in some form or another because obviously Neve Campbell was in Party of Five with Jennifer Love Hewitt. Jennifer Love Hewitt was in Can't Hardly Wait. Ethan Embry was in Can't Hardly Wait. Jennifer Love Hewitt's also the final girl for the I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. Like all of these kids are tied together in some way or another. Like Freddie Prinze Jr. audition for Scream, like a lot of these kids wanted Scream, right? And there's, obviously whoever got it, that you fucking banked on it because hello, we have this entire franchise now with it. Um, but Ethan Embry, the only reason, so obviously there's two killers in the film, everybody. I know that hopefully by now you've seen the film and we haven't spoiled everything for you.
Technically, three.
Oh, yeah, I guess there's three. But one of them does die very easily. Like, Gail kills him. And so good for you, Gail. Gail comes along, which I think is cute, though, that the twins are kind of with her because it makes sense to have those characters together because they've been in the other films together. And I feel like it makes sense for them to want to follow Gail around, right? So and honestly, the twins, like, they annoy me in the other movies. They did not annoy me in this movie. Again, it's the writing. Like, thank you,
yeah,
Kevin, for not pissing me off for a change because the last one was just so just the whole movie sucks. Like, I mean, the kills were great. I will say the kills and then the gore and some of the action were really good in the last one. But
Mm-hmm.
the character development, I didn't give a fuck about any of the characters. I didn't give a fuck about what's happening to these people. Like, Scream does have a bit of heart to where you do at some point give a shit. Like, and just like Mikey was saying, in all of the Scream films, we always have a death that is emotional to us. I would say in part two, obviously Randy, and then Jerry O'Connell, right?
Yeah.
And then part three, um, who dies in part three? Let's think. Oh, and in part
Parker
two,
Posey.
Parker Posey. I know. My lawyer loved that. But by the way, Parker Posey is a fucking gem in that movie. But obviously, part three is making, fun. It's a satire of like, life in Hollywood and all these things. So part three has its own, and part three was shit on so much because it 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 was affected so much by the events of Columbine that part three was really toned down and like had to do all these rewrites and all these characters were changed and everything. And Sydney's character was kind of put by the wayside too because she didn't have a lot of time filming. So they could only use her for a specific amount of time in part three, and we just don't get her as much. I think part four is still kind of carrying on the Scream theme. Like it's not too bad. Part five, I liked part five because whatever, but six was just awful. So I'm glad that we went this direction. But back to the beginning kill, I think it was really cute though to see the stew house on an Airbnb because it actually I think is on real Airbnb right now. Like you can
Oh,
rent
is
it.
it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So I feel like if that was a true story and people were renting that, first of all, the house is a bomb ass house. Like
Yeah.
how much fun would that be to like if we all rented out that house and stayed there? That would be so much fun. Um and but I thought it was cute to have that kind of dynamic in the beginning because you kind of see how much after 30 years the effects of what happened in Woodsboro, how it's still getting to people, right? Like people are like obsessed with it, just like they're obsessed with true crime. Like that's what would happen, right? Everybody'd be excited to go to these places. I mean, the whole house was like a museum. They had little, obviously the animatronic ghost face, but they also had, if you looked around, they had, all the cases with all of like different memorabilia, and every room where someone died, they had the tape on the floor.
The body ones.
And I forgot that in four, right? Was it four? What part where they all went back to the house? Was it four or five? They went back to that house.
5.
Okay. So
Because
more
that's
people.
where Mikey Madsen and the guy that was also there at the con, who's Dennis Quaid's son, was the
Oh,
killer.
Jack Quaid. Yeah.
Oh, Jack Wade, yeah.
Yeah. So people died in the house then. So I mean, you can just kind of like bring the story, you know, you can
Yeah.
have more with it. So, I mean, the premise is simple, everybody. I'll go over that really quick. And by the way, the film's already made so far. I think
It's like
97,
98 million, I think it was.
yeah, 97, 98 million right now on a budget
Yeah.
of 45. And Neve Campbell is the highest paid actress for this, as she got $7 million to come back for Sydney. So good for her.
Mm.
What was it? Was that asking you that age about the last thing that Robert England did? And we were talking about it and how it was like kind of like crazy that for Freddy versus Jason, he only got paid $1 million.
Yeah, Robert England
As
got
like
paid $1 million to come back to be Freddy. But
Yeah, but
insane.
this franchise, they're going off the last movie that what that made. Like this franchise is a beast.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still making money because I think it still resonates. It has a good sweet spot where it can still keep the nostalgia and then kind of bring in, a newer generation to appreciate it. And not that Freddy versus Jason couldn't, but because of all of the lawsuits and all that bullshit, it took so long for the film to be made. Like if you were not a fan of that in the 80s, or you didn't live in the 80s, or you didn't grow up in the 80s and watch those movies, like you wouldn't be excited about this new franchise unless you were a genuine horror fan like I was. But most people didn't even know like what the fuck any of that was. And obviously, a lot of us didn't even know about a lot of these 80s horror films until we saw Scream, because at the beginning, when Ghostface is asking all these questions to Drew Barrymore, to Casey, about how, like, like, who's the killer and Friday the 13th, and obviously she gets it wrong, and most people would say it's Jason, but it's not. It's his mom. So, like,
Yeah.
the fact that we carry it on the meta and even into this film, like, Scream's always been very meta. It's always poked fun at the genre, but it's still smart, edgy. Kevin Williamson, I think, is really important to be tied to it, because I think he does so much with his writing. And obviously, Wes Craven, may he rest in peace. He did so much for the movies, and I always run back to that little thing that I read, that Kevin Williamson would, in the script, like, he would write scenes and he would always say, Wes will make it scary, like, in parentheses.
Mhm.
So, like, even if it didn't feel scary, like, Wes will make it scary. And I wish to God we still had him with us, because I think what a fucking amazing movie that would be to have them both back to do that. But
Yeah.
What a win for him though, for directing too in this one. I mean,
mhm.
so
Yeah.
I
And
do like. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you were talking about the call, the beginning call, and I did like the slight callback when the Friday the 13th question
oh
in
yeah.
this movie was also like a gotcha, but I also like the girl that's not really into horror got it.
Yeah.
I like the little switcheroo. But we do have some late breaking live news right now that it was just announced that Scream 7 has hit the 1 billion mark at the box office, joining the Horror Billionaires Club that also includes The Conjuring, Alien, Resident Evil, It, and Saw.
Wow.
Yeah, I hate to
Damn.
disappoint everybody, but here we are. So, I'm not shocked, because again, everybody wanted to see this movie. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
and also there's so many people that don't know what's going on in social
yeah,
media, why people are mad. Because some, like, I think the horror fanatics do, but we have to remember Scream is one of those horror movies that expands the horror fans. Like, a lot of people love Scream. Most of the times when people are like, I don't like horror movies, but there's that one movie I like called Scream. Like, people just like Scream. And I've talked to many people that I'm like, yeah, they'll be like, I heard something about like controversy, what's going on? And I'm like, look it up, because I don't have all the time to explain all the things.
yeah.
Um,
And
I
that's
mean,
where the detriment to social media, and it's also kind of ironic that we have this going on with a movie that is so meta, right? Because they try to tie into the social media aspect, obviously, now. With this film, the commentary is on AI and how we can't tell the difference between AI and what is real.
mhm.
And I just think that social media has been, while it can be amazing, it can also be a huge, like, not only factor for trying to destroy something, but a huge platform for misinformation, just in the same way that AI is. We don't know all of the reasons behind it. We only know what's been fed to us, and we only know what people are yelling about, right? And you're just going to follow, your algorithm's only going to show you what you're following. So you're never going to get it if you're getting all your information from social media. So I implore all of you to just do your research. Okay. Stop listening to all these people standing on their soapboxes trying to whatever, because I don't think everybody has it right. Like, I didn't know. I just realized, I just found out that she wasn't contracted for the third one, which another piece of meta fun in this one was when Gail's on the phone and she's bitching at um, somebody for telling her that she's, washed up, and she was fired. And she's like, I didn't get fired. They didn't renew my contract. So, and I'm like, here we go. So, of course, we're going to have that in the movie. And I thought that was a great touch, because, at the end of the day, like, that's part of the reason too. So you can't just say, oh, blah, blah, blah. We just want to just jump to conclusions. And I think that Scream, of course, this would happen to Scream, right? Because Scream is just impacts everything that is, like, um happening right now. And it usually
Current.
kind of, it's always like a commentary of what's happening at that particular moment. So
I mean, it's big enough for the fact that Scary Movie 6 is coming out. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
Yeah.
even Scary Movie 6 is taking advantage of the fact that they know that, hey, maybe people will just come to see this because we're going to make fun of that and plus other things. Like, I saw a thing today where I guess whoever somebody sent me this like about Scary Movie 6, and the fact that he's like, oh yeah, the writers, and I'm like, you mean the Wayne's brothers or the Wayne brother? Said basically, I don't care who I offend in this. You know what I mean? Which they
Yeah,
already
and
got something from the trailer.
Already it's starting with the
Yeah,
gender pronoun joke for Scary Movie 6 and people
yeah,
being, and this is, you know, to cap off the Melissa Barrera controversy, I agreed with what she said. I don't agree she should have been, if she was fired. I don't agree she should have been fired for it.
yeah.
So just to put that out of the way, because, it's such a weird time right now. But if you actually know Marlon Wayans and what he's done for the gay community, um, as a straight black man, that's huge. So yes, he can do a gender pronoun joke in his little movie because that joke would have been a soft hit in the early 2000s. Like it
100%.
wouldn't even be the most offensive thing in the whole movie if that was made in the
Mm.
early 2000s. So, and it's funny, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Spaceballs is coming out soon. You know what I mean? We always made a joke that like you can imagine him putting something out in this time frame because everybody would like just try to like crucify you. You know what I mean? And it's like it's weird. It's kind of crazy like that. I mean, like you said, I mean, I didn't know that about Marlon. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, I think he has a
And,
gay son. That's why he's so active.
Nice.
and, it, and it's disheartening because I feel like everybody is looking for something they can bank on when it comes to any kind of controversy for anything. So it's not just Scream. Anything coming out, anything new, anything like, with Scary Movie coming, and I never cared for the scary movies, everybody. So I know Mikey would love them. But
Only the
What?
first
I
two.
I have no, like, I never cared for them just because, like, I know the what's up, like, I don't care.
Oh, that was.
I know.
I hate
I
that.
just because they're a little too silly for me. Like but whatever. I know that they have a huge following, and I'm like, if you're gonna go and look for something wrong with Scary Movie, like, are you like, do you have nothing better to do with your fucking time? Like, seriously,
Yeah. Wait
it's
until you find out who Miss Man is.
and this is what I'm saying. I'm just like, everybody needs to calm the fuck down. Like, there is not a fight to be had every second of the day, every moment of the hour. Like, just let it go. Especially considering like all of the great aspects of this movie. Now, the biggest pitfall for me, and I was reading Pressy Jacked, one of our Patreon members. We love you. He made a point, and I love this, that he said that old characters were shoehorned in,
Hmm.
and I agree. I don't think Sydney was, but I
No.
agree with that with not only Matthew Lillard as Stu, but also with Gail, with Courtney Cox.
Yeah.
She had
Yeah.
nothing to do in this movie.
I'll agree. I didn't even really like the AI cameos.
No.
Um, it was very cheap to me because if you in the acting community, there is a whole set of independent films that raise money for their filming, like we do with Indiegogo. And one of the things that you can buy is always like, oh, you can be a blogger in the movie, and you just record yourself on your phone and turn it in, and we'll put it somewhere in the movie. And that seemed like that's what was happening. And it seemed a little cheap. And I know that like there's a news story that they messaged Mikey Madsen, who is the character, the killer in Five, and they're like, "Hey, would you mind videotaping something and sending it to us?" And she was like, "No, my phone camera's broken, the back camera." And they're like, "Well, can you do it from the front camera?" She goes, "That's broken too." And so like,
She lying, obviously.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what her reasoning was. She's an Oscar winner now, but like maybe she supports Melissa Barrera because they're from the same movie.
Yeah.
But I support her not doing it because I was like, at this point, it's too much. Like I didn't. It was so weird, and it felt unnatural. And I know that's like the whole point of AI, but I was like, this is really y'all are stretching here.
Yeah. So we have all of the cameos with AI. The AI was what pissed me off, but I get it because it is because AI is getting out of control, everybody. Do I think that we should have used it for Stu? No, absolutely not. Like, I can see using it for Roman. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Although Scott Foley looks amazing. Good for him.
Oh yeah, he looks like he still does a number four.
Yeah. So he looks better than he did in number four, actually. Because
Mhm.
listen, he was the biggest dork on Felicity. I did not find him attractive on Felicity, but he's attractive now.
Jesus.
And don't you Jesus me. So so we have, although I did love seeing Aunt Jackie. So Aunt Jackie comes back to play.
Yeah, she squealed in the theater.
Billy's mom,
I-
folks, just in case you don't know who that is.
Billy's mom who kills
Billy's mother. Oh my God, they didn't have Timothy the Elephant in
yeah,
there.
where's my Timothy Elephant? Because they showed his ass in that golf show and I got so excited.
You know what's funny about that is they never showed they show the dad in the first movie. I saw I was rewatching the first one just because I was like wanted to kind of like get nostalgic about it. But if you realize that he's in the office with his dad in the first movie, and you never hear about Billy's dad. You also don't hear about Sidney's dad either, since he was tied up and like there was less.
You know,
I think I think she had a phone call with him in the third one.
Does she? Oh.
Did I share that video with you guys today? Somebody made a compilation of all the best random moments in every Scream movie, because there's always like some fucking random ass moment that like happens that for no reason.
The hip hop moment where they're going by the van when Randy's getting killed.
Van.
They're like, oh yeah.
And then I was watching the part where Sydney runs away, that stupid run she does when she runs away from Billy. And
well, they make fun of that in Scream. I mean, I know that's a great movie, sorry. But speaking of moments, I will say I did not like the beer death scene for this movie, because that felt, well, yeah, it was super CGI, which I've never seen in a Scream movie, and I was like, what is this, Friday the 13th? Like, it was too hokey. That death was really out of place in this franchise.
I think they try to redo the slow stab part again. Like, it worked when the guy in the beginning for the first death, you know, where he did right in the head, and you could see his eye, like, dude, that was really good. Like, it was really on point.
That was gnarly, and I think that was paying homage to how many head stabs we got in 5 and 6.
My God, yeah.
But okay, if he would have just lifted him, I was getting a little like Texas Chainsaw when they throw the girl on the hook. But at the end, when the beer comes out of the mouth and everything, that was a little too fantasy. It's not gonna happen, and that, to me, that it took me out. I was like, that was weird. You could have killed him like that, but him turning into a beer fountain at the end was a little.
Yeah, it was like weird because it was like the way it happened, and then like the supernatural strength, because like it was either his mom, which would be really weird.
It had to have been Ethan Embry.
Yeah, exactly. So like you're looking at that, so you're like, all right, that's a lot of strength to do that. I mean, and you look at him, you're like, I don't see him having that much body strength to be lifting a whole human being up like that, to like, spear them like that. So that seemed a little like, I have to agree with you. That's like the scene where you're like, did we just jump the shark for Scream and murder scenes?
Yeah, and to go ahead, Aiden.
Oh, well, no, I was just gonna say, because I thought, so his scene for me was sad. Well, until the beer came out. Maybe that's why because I think that was to give us comedic relief, because remember, he's still alive and he's being dragged, and then he holds because he liked the girl, and he's holding her hand, like, and looking at her, like, when she's dead on the floor.
It's like the Randy getting his moment, and then it's ruined because somebody murdered them both.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's so sad. And I thought, well, he would just stab him and they would just look at each other, right? And no, he drags them and then does that. So I'm thinking that maybe that was there for comedic relief, because that was a little bit of an emotional scene. And then also too, I think that helps throw you off, because he dies. Everyone thinks it's him in the beginning. And I even said, I told Doug when I saw that weird kid, and he's like, they call him the weird or the creepy kid in the movie, right?
Yeah.
When I saw him, I looked at Doug. I'm like, oh, he's the killer. Like,
well, because we knew it was Anna Camp going in, because it was spoiled to us.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, not you. But so my thing was, if it's Anna Camp, is her son on it too? Kind of like the last one, where it was the daughter or the family. Turns out he wasn't. But the biggest faux pas of this movie, I don't even remember what her motive was. I don't know why. She got a divorce. She read her book. She was like, I'm going to kill my husband because this book made me want to be free by killing my husband. He was abusive. And then Sidney goes somewhere, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill her too." I was so confused.
Well,
I
because
didn't even think Embry died.
she didn't go even to New York or something like that. Like they try to like attach it to the fact that she didn't go to the last Ghostface killings. Somehow she was upset about that and she needed to bring it back home. Like you can't just get the walk away from the Ghostface killings. You know what I mean? Like it was like because they were attacking the sisters. You know what I mean? Like somehow the sisters had taken the spotlight or the I don't know whatever away from Sidney. You know what I mean? That there was like I need to bring this back to you. Like she was the one gonna bring back all the things. You know.
Well, you know what they should have done, and this probably would have been a little fucked up. Maybe she had an affair with the husband, and
Sydney's mother. Oh,
and she had an affair with Joe McHale, formerly played by Patrick Dempsey. She had an affair with him, or they had like a one-time fling, and now she has it out for Sydney. That would have been fun. That would have been totally like Housewives, like, oh,
it would have been like
fuck
her
you
mom.
up.
Yeah, I
like
was gonna say she starts calling her a whore.
You know what would have been even better?
Ooh, what?
If Anna Camp had a husband and Sydney slept with him.
Oh,
in a moment
yeah.
of non what is it? A drunken
The drunken night
whatever,
of
a drunken
passion.
event. You
Yeah.
know, and then to bring more drama, she has to tell her husband. And
Kevin
Anna Camp finds out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's whenever Aunt Jackie says, "You're a slut just like your mother."
That's perfect. Kevin,
That
somebody
Kevin,
call him.
Kevin, call me.
that is
That would
good.
have been perfect because like that sort of like because those are the kinds of things people will fucking kill you for, right? Like
Yeah.
people get so insane
Crimes
by
of
that.
passion. It has a whole definition.
Yeah.
Exactly. But her motive was and she, you know, and Anna Camp always annoys me. I don't know. I hated her in True Blood when she was I couldn't wait for her to die in True Blood because she just she irritated the fuck
She's a
out of
villain.
me. Yeah. Like she's a good villain, I guess, because she is irritating. Do I think though that she can kick ass?
Well, she's
Like
a
kick
lesbian.
like kick is she?
Mhm.
Oh.
Mhm.
Well, aren't they
I learned that
all?
on Trixie Mattel channel.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling us about that.
Yeah. And then also, so I also had so I found out that she was the killer before I saw. So if you don't know, audience, Trixie Mattel has a YouTube channel. It's great. Go look. And Anna Camp came on the show and they were making like a little video together because they're friends. And of course, they're going to talk about Scream, but of course, Anna Camp can't say much. But one of the things that did kind of connect the dots for me was that this is after I read Anna Camp's the Killer on Instagram. And they were talking, and Anna Camp did not audition for this role. Kevin Williamson reached out to her. So I'm like, okay, so he liked her previous work. What's her previous work? True Blood and Pitch Perfect. And both of those characters are not nice characters. So I was like, I think she actually might be the killer because, especially in True Blood, she plays like the wife of the Reverend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not a good person. So I was like, I think she is the killer.
Yeah, because she's like the perfect like Republican, right? Like she's
Yeah.
a little blonde, whatever, like all sweet to your face, but will, you know, secretly kill you in the background. Like I totally get that. So, I mean, not like, and I think that's why she'd be a good killer. I just, again, her motive was so shitty. So, you know, that kind of took me out of it. I could see Ethan Embry being manipulated into this because he was already crazy, right? He was in the nut house.
Mhm.
And when I say crazy, I mean, yeah, you're in a fucking institution. You're crazy. I don't know what else I can say. But what that was another plot hole for me. Him walking around the hospital as a doctor when he was a patient. How did he get away with that?
He wasn't a patient. I mean, yeah, he worked there. He wasn't
It was
there.
an orderly.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was a
the-
patient.
No, she was. Anna Camp was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's when they met.
And so was the other guy who died, the
Yeah.
original Ghostface guy that was doing the first initial killing.
Mm-hmm.
They had out,
we
which
do have our first early unmasking for once in Scream, because you know how shoot them, and they're like, "Took the fucking mask off," and they did, but it was that throwaway killer that everybody was like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah, yeah. And when Gail says that I died, but yeah, like I know it's like, but I think that it was good to kind of throw you off because then you can't like figure out who it is. You always know it's somebody in the group, but who could it be? But like of all the kills in the movie, I'm glad that they killed more people than I feel like they usually do. But McKenna Grace's kill I liked for different reasons, but I kind of shitty that she wasn't in the movie longer. Like she dies like right at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah, she's
So
like the second, or technically the third, because there's two people in the beginning, but she's the
mm.
first of the kids to die. And
Did you find that scene in the bar was kind of annoying though? Like, I mean, they're like, hey,
yes,
let's
because
all get
I'm
together.
like, all these parents of these children should be
Yeah.
held responsible if their kids were not in curfew. Like, I don't. And okay, this is I'm gonna probably get some hate for this. I don't think Joe McHale did a good job. I'm gonna say it. And I love Joe McHale. I think he's so hot. But there are some moments where I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we couldn't do another take.
Yeah, he was kind of like
Flat.
yeah, I don't know what it was. There was something off about him. I agree with you, Mikey.
Yeah.
Which when he got stabbed, I didn't care. I was like, all right, bye.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely like the killer in the first time around. Like I was like, dude, this guy's coming off with some real major moves. Like I know we had the two guys from the panel that were there who did a lot of the stunt work, and the one guy who played, both of them played Ghostface, and then they did a lot of the choreography for them and everything like that. And they were talking about how certain things would work, some things wouldn't, but some of the block moves and some of like, I mean, like I was like, this guy looks like a serious fighter, and you're going against a cop where usually normally you would not have that kind of scenario. And this guy's supposed to be just some guy who's killed somebody that was in, the asylum, the first guy, at least anyways, you know what I mean? But he seemed like almost like a trained killer, the way he was moving. Like it kind of came off like you're like, geez, okay. So I was a little thrown off by that a little bit, because usually it's just like you can tell somebody just doesn't know what they're doing, but they're just going at it as much as they can, fight wise. This like choreography wise, I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here now? Like a ghost face killer is like more trained than they've ever been before. It's like,
I mean, I guess I'm okay forgiving a lot of that, because like, in my opinion, there's so many ghost faces that get their ass beat by the victims, and like the killers do not have any bruises when it switches to them in real life, or whenever they're not the killers. I'm like, if that happened, whenever homegirl grabs I was like, well, that's a strange weapon. When the girl in the beginning pulls off the lamp or the wall, what is it called? The lamp on the wall. I thought it called the
the
no.
sconce.
Sconce.
Oh.
Yeah, she pulls it off and whacks him with it, and I was like, good for you for knowing you could pull that off, because I'd be like, that's too heavy.
yeah.
But like, whoever that was gonna have a huge bruise in his face the next day.
Well, I mean,
falling off the second story, you're gonna have a little bit of a limp.
yeah. Like your bounce back isn't gonna be that bounced. You know what I mean? And then it's also like the fact that, like, when I was talking about how I was shocked that they hadn't trained the daughter anything, but then like the daughter didn't even know they had a safety room.
Yeah.
Like a safe. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you not teach them that?
That's Sidney being closed off and not wanting to, expose her to any of that. Like she kept her daughter sheltered from everything.
But she had a go bag. Remember that? She's like, oh,
okay, she had a go bag,
which the daughter didn't listen to, and
and she unpacked it.
Yeah, dumb bitch.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
like, this is why I don't do nothing with you, because you don't listen anyways.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying.
But teenagers, and the thing is too with teenagers, like she wanted to keep her daughter safe from everything. It wasn't just that. It was the boyfriend. The boyfriend, couldn't come around.
Like, not again.
I don't even know how he got in there without the cameras, because like you see that system she has.
That's how
like,
she knew he was in the room, because of the cameras. So she's, this ain't her first fucking rodeo.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's like anybody who does something, who's not a good kid when they're a kid. If you have kids yourself, you know what the fuck they're doing. Like, you're not an idiot. Like, my kids would get away with nothing if I had kids.
We know. But here's your answer, Lance, because children are always going to be a person's weakness. And if she would have done all the things that you have said, she's admitting to herself that her daughter is eventually going to face this one day. And some people don't want that thought. And you can roll your eyes and you can shrug all you want.
I'm just saying,
It's the
man.
harsh reality that sometimes people, like you in showering,
Oh my
like
God.
some people just,
Good Lord. Here's the
People
thing
just
again.
don't get it.
She's
Yeah.
three. She's
and they'll
three
lie
dou-
about it to make it
she'll-
worse.
Oh my God. She's three
Mhm.
kids deep. You know what I mean? This is her eldest one. You're telling me none of these kids, and this is the 7th movie. She's had several different incidents where obviously there's always some crazy person comes out of nowhere. I find that hard to believe that you haven't tried to train your children. She obviously had a go bag. You know what I mean? So she obviously knew there was times where they have to get out of there and move and get everybody on. You know what I mean? So
but
like to
what do you
not
mean
train them in any sense of the word.
To train
blows
them,
my
what is
mind.
she, a fucking assassin
I
training
know.
people for things? Like this is in
Yeah.
real life. You either
Yeah, real life you
inspire-
don't have go bags.
And no, and I mean, if she wanted that, that's one thing. But in real life, like if she wants to avoid any of these things, she's not going to involve her kids in it, and she doesn't want to have to deal with it.
She doesn't want them getting murdered
So-
by accident either.
So how do you train? You're not training your kids for shit like that's stupid.
show
Like,
them
that,
how to defend
that
themselves.
just goes into like
Okay,
Laurie
well,
Strode territory where she
this is
becomes some
insane to me.
psychopath. And then like if you look at the difference between her and a Laurie Strode, like from David Gordon Green's Halloween, she turns into a freaking nutbag, right? And pushes her kids away. Sydney doesn't want that. Like Sydney wants to have a relationship. She wants to have the husband and her kids and a life of her own. And by doing all of that, you're just basically negating and canceling that out, Lance. And you can keep grin all you want, but in those situations, I don't know why Lance thinks he knows what he'd do in these situations.
Oh my
I
God.
can't even get him to take a
He's
shower.
perfect. He's the best mother. He's the best
good
mother out
Lord.
there.
I know,
Oh my God.
clearly.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, his nieces are
fine.
black belts in jujitsu already, apparently.
Oh my
They would be if
God.
it wasn't for their damn father.
Well, there you go. You know what?
stupidest thing
Sydney
I've
can
ever
take
heard.
care of it herself, which is why she doesn't put that burden on her daughter.
Exactly. But
Didn't
anyway,
work out for her.
I mean, let us know what you guys think in the comments, everybody. Like, should Sydney have better prepared? Should this have been some stupid ass, kung fu movie? Because
Oh my God.
Lance wants, everybody to make sure that they can defend themselves. And
It
now
was already a
nobody's in
kung fu
trouble.
movie when the first
And
ghost guy
also,
was
too,
beating the shit out of her.
if she does know how to take care of herself, that takes away some of the, the suspense and the fact that she is vulnerable. She doesn't know what she's doing. That makes it less scary.
I get where it plays in the storyline. I'm just saying, in a realistic way, she would have some kind of common knowledge of some of these things, and obviously that she knows
Why would you teach your teenage child how to use a fucking gun? Like anybody who does that, I think is incredibly irresponsible. Because
they
again,
have
this
a
is
cop as a
This is why
father.
we have Columbine and we have all of these.
Oh my
things.
God, they have a cop as a
because
father.
they have a cop of a father, you have somebody already in the house protecting you. Why should you need to do these things?
Because you would know how to make sure that you don't have your children touching guns and shooting themselves by accident.
So you give them a gun in order to do that. That's the stupidest fucking thing. How about we just don't have guns in our house?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
man.
How about we stop acting like this is fucking Call of Duty, fucking whatever?
Call of
And
Duty,
people get the
Jesus.
fuck over themselves. Like you don't need a goddamn gun to kill someone when you can use a knife. Stab. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
But you know what? Lance just loves to blame women, especially a mother.
Exactly.
So
How does that even turn to that?
it's just that's the moral
as much as the
that's the
father's
moral of the
fault.
story that I'm gathering.
Anyway, let
it's
us
the
know
father's
what you
fault as
guys
well.
think of this one in the comments because I know that this is a very divisive movie for very many reasons. I'm glad that we did have Matthew Lillard back in this one. I'm sad that we didn't have better role for him. I really wish that, if anybody else takes over the movie or they go in a different direction, that, we get something with Matthew Lillard again. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe these are sad movies. Maybe these are whatever. But all in all, I'm happy with it. I liked it better than the last one. So there's that.
Yeah. I liked it. I think it's interesting. I think it feels like in an alternate universe, this is Scream 2.
Yeah.
Or 3, maybe.
No, Lance, did I say 3?
Well, I mean,
No, sometimes people say
2 was pretty good. So I mean,
if you don't understand, I'm going to tell you what I tell my kids. If you don't understand what someone's saying, don't assume.
Mm-hmm.
nah.
Okay.
Mm.
I didn't say Scream 2 was bad. I didn't say this was better than Scream 2. I said in an alternate universe, this is Scream 2.
Yeah. Like I feel like it kind of
Did we talk about the fact that Stu was actually, or Matthew Lillard was actually paid to be in 3, and then that Columbine thing happened, and that's the only reason he didn't end up coming back? Because he was actually paid, like he actually got money for Scream
We
3.
didn't talk about it, but there you go. We
Yeah.
just did.
Well, again, Scream 3 was a disaster because of Columbine happening. It sort of ruined a lot of what they had in store for Scream 3. So it
Yeah.
sucks because, we could have had something way different. And unfortunately, we live in a society where we teach our kids how to use guns, and we don't watch our kids, because if that was my son, I'd know what was in his fucking room every second of the day. So raise your goddamn kids better, people. And there's my PSA for today. Stop raising fucking assholes. Period. Anyway.
And just like Scream 3, this was also going to be a different movie. If Billy Loomis was going to return and they were going to continue the Melissa Barrera story. So I think he even confirmed that she would have been Ghostface in this one. Maybe I misread that, but I think they were actually gonna. My thing is, when I see fan theories, I'm like, well, they're not gonna do that because it's a fan theory. So I didn't actually think she was gonna turn to full Ghostface, but if it was gonna happen, it was gonna be in this one. So we'll see what happens next. Because shit, excuse me, I choked on my spit. Because regardless of how this movie does critically, it's the largest opening. And as we see with other films, even if you don't like them, studios are like, that made a lot of money. Here's some more money to make another one, even if you don't want to.
I hope, like, you're right. I hope whoever, the people who are in charge, just to, like, leave and let somebody else take over for the next movie. And maybe we can get her back, and maybe we could get her being the Ghostface killer and have it mix into the whole Billy / Sidney daughter type scenario, like you guys are kind of both talking about. I hope that's the thing. I mean, I think it's a shitty way to get let go, or whatever the case scenario was. So yeah,
but
and this movie was pretty good.
I'm not speculating on this scenario anymore because I'm learning all of these things, and I'm just like, well, I don't know what the fuck happened, and I'm kind of glad she's gone. So whatever. And not that Melissa Barrera's gone, that her character is not in this movie. So anyway.
Yes. Keep in mind, everybody, the criticism is for the character of Melissa Barrera. I forgot her name. Sam? Was it Sam?
Sam Carpenter. Gee, I wonder
was that really her name?
Yeah. Where did they get the Carpenter from?
Funny.
I wonder.
I forgot about that. But I would like to see Kevin Williamson's take on that story, because we saw how different this felt.
Yeah,
maybe he can actually make that work.
Yeah, because I think
them back.
Yeah, he did really well with the twins characters, and I think that if we could have that tone carry into another film, then that's fine. But I don't think taking what worked and flipping it on its head, like, I don't mind change, but I don't think changing it so much to the point to where this is not Scream. This is just whatever. Just make it a move. Just make a different fucking movie. That's it. But whatever. Anyway, with that, any last words?
Any apologies you'd like to make, Lance?
I never apologize for almost everything.
I know.
You never apologize for almost everything. Got it.
No, again, it was a fun movie. I hope the next things, like, this was a bridge to get to where they really wanted to go. I hope Kevin, because he did such a good job in the sense of making the money, and that, like, they're just gonna give him that opportunity to write another one and direct another one. So hopefully they do that. They get some different backers so they can get away from all the other stuff that's going on. Yeah, and then just go move forward.
That's how I read it when I see it. It's big ol' ass. Yes, and maybe Kevin Williamson will also direct I Know What to Do Last Summer Part 3 with Brandy and Jennifer Love Hewitt. So
that would be fun.
He did write the first one.
Yeah, and that I'm more excited for, honestly. So give me that, please.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for this week's Slashers podcast. Please exit the podcast in a calm and spooky fashion. If you want to see our faces and see how I treat them, which I don't treat them anyway.
You saw it today, folks.
Today was Lance.
No.
Lance has been picking on me all weekend, everyone. So watch the video cast at youtube.com/slashers podcast. If you need more horror nerd chaos in your life, slice deeper with the Comic Chop, our monthly deep dives with Joe from Much Ado About Nerding. Join the cult at Patreon. Oh, Joe was being mean to me this weekend too, by the way. Join the cult at patreon.com/slasherspod for exclusive episodes, bonus content, and curse perks. Rock your support at slasherspod.redbubble.com because nothing gets you laid faster than Slasher's swagger. If you want to haunt us on Instagram, you can find our page at SlashersPod for the official page and at Mutant Goons from Beyond for the gang. Scream at us directly, myself at Pathologically ADE, Mikey at Southern Fried Mikey, and Lance at Zombie VS Hate. Huge thanks to our bloodbound patrons, Josh Gunn, Dinosaurs Will Always Be Awesome, my mom Lorene, Kevin Leamy, Vlad Luis, Leslie Thurman, Cam, Gail, Press Eject, and Bruce Magnus. Thanks for listening, and remember to stay spooky. Goodbye. Don't die.
Goodbye.
Die.
Yay.
We did it, Joe.
We did it, Joe. Okay.
Oh, you're recording, not me.
Oh, let me stop that. Hold on.